We are here with Jordan Duecker today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we've heard a lot about your experience in politics. What have you done in regards to working with political campaigns?
Yeah, definitely. I started off here in the College Republicans my freshman year, weaved in and out, and then eventually through my junior year got really involved. It's what actually led me to my experience in the Hanaway campaign. We, as the College Republicans, went up earlier in the election cycle to the Iowa caucus in Ottumwa, Iowa. Helped out counting ballots, seeing the process firsthand where you really start to weed out the candidates. We've been to Lincoln Days, we've done some incredible trips out to the Reagan Ranch in Santa Monica, California, and brought campus speakers like Michael Reagan and David Limbaugh. This summer I interned with the Catherine Hanaway campaign, and what we did, I was in charge of the absentee voting. So I was the director of absentee voting, which even though she lost, the overall vote, if you look at every other candidate, Democrat and Republican, she won the absentee vote by double digits, solely thanks to me and a few other interns. So that was an incredible experience. I really got to learn firsthand the intricacies of localities, dealing with over 60 county clerks and seeing unique processes throughout the state. I also helped out with logistics and event preparation. I had the incredible opportunity to meet CEOs, former ambassadors, various other dignitaries. So it's been an incredible experience so far, and I'm looking forward to the future.
How do you feel that's helped your networking skills? You know, we talk a lot about that at Truman.
Yes, yeah. Well, I also am in Delta Sigma Pi, the business fraternity here on campus, and my networking skills only grew, especially when you are in the room with some very large egos, people that far outclass you and far outrank you. You certainly learn how to strike up some good conversations of a variety of topics.
Yep. Speaking of that, what do you feel that this work has taught you in both your professional and personal life?
Yeah, confidence and discipline. When you are surrounded by many strong personalities, you have to learn how to hold your own or you will get walked on over. And as far as discipline, there are a lot of ups and downs in campaigns, as we've seen throughout the selection cycle, and staying on message and staying disciplined with your strategy and your goal and making necessary corrections along the way, but being disciplined in your approach.
Yeah. So there's talk that you will be going to work for Eric Greitens if he wins the vote for governor. Is that true?
That is a potential possibility.
Okay.
There are no formal arrangements. We have to see if he actually wins. I believe only, as I checked last, I think 5% of Missouri votes are in, so it's still too close to call. I may potentially run for office here. The filing deadlines are coming up. There's also the State Department, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, other government agencies I'm looking at, and then I do love business, so I haven't rolled out the private sector yet.
Yeah. So what is it, you said you might run for office, what is it that you would bring to an office if you ran?
Everyone says this. I would say common sense.
Okay.
I think that's definitely lacking, and I would not be afraid to get voted out or to stand up for myself and stand up for things that need to be talked about. I think unfortunately too many people buckle under the pressure. But a big thing, I'm a big advocate of 3 specific things here in Missouri that I think we are lacking in. And there's only so much you can do at certain levels. But I look at our agriculture policy, we're lacking. We could become a major global source for the food supply in the world. We have the second most amount of farms out of any state in the U.S. We have the Danforth Plant Corridor in the eastern half of the state. We have Mizzou, 90 minutes away, that has an agriculture school, medicine school, veterinary, all in one. We have 2 very large navigable rivers. So there's strong potential there. When you look at technology and entrepreneurship, St. Louis is now known as the Silicon on the Prairie. We are becoming, as a state, an incubator of innovation. You have T-Rex and Cortex downtown, which are bringing so many new forms of technology to the St. Louis area and the Missouri area, and growing jobs. As a state, we have some of the highest entrepreneurial rates for startups. Women actually now make up a larger share than men in terms of starting up businesses. 11% of the workforce here in the state is employed by the financial industry. So if you look at what's called the fintech revolution, so financial technology, it's disrupting traditional banking. So there's enormous potential there. We could become a hub of entrepreneurship and innovation, but sadly, our policies aren't conducive to that. right now. And then I think most importantly, we could become a transportation hub for the Midwest. We are 4 hours away by direct flight from any other major US city. When TWA and American Airlines left, Lambert International, that harmed us so much. Jay Nixon has tried, the governor has attempted to bring cargo shipments from China, but unfortunately, our infrastructure can't support that. So infrastructure plays a huge, huge role in that as well. When you look at our most recent report card from the American Society of Civil Engineers, we had a C- average. When you look at our transportation infrastructure grade, it averages out to a D+. So there is enormous potential in these 3 areas of really taking Missouri from just a flyover state, which is what it's known as, and making it into a hub of the Midwest.
Yeah, I was going to say, that is a wealth of information about the state that it almost seems like even its residents don't know about.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part. And I've always been one to have I think, a fairly large mouth. And I love information, I love policy, I like learning, and I like informing others, and informing others from a different perspective that we're not always well aware of, I suppose. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would bring to the office if I ran.
That's wonderful. Wealth of information. You already said this work is something that you would carry on in the future, work in politics in general. Mm-hmm. What are some of the other things that you would do, not just running for office, but within politics in general? Maybe policies you would like to see pushed through, or things like that?
Yeah. Like I said, with these 3 areas, there's enormous potential, regardless of a Republican or a Democrat who goes into the administration. For governor, regardless of a Republican or Democratic legislator. I think today we live in such a hyper-partisan society where you don't have any discourse. You have people yelling, I'm right, you're wrong, deal with it. And I think that has led to a decay and disintegration of political discourse. I think we need to have people that are in office that are respectful. And I know that's cliche, it's chump change now. But I am a firm believer that actions speak louder than words. I think we have to put people into office that are willing to step back out of office when it's time. Our government, I'm a firm believer, our government was built to be a citizen government. Doctors, scientists, business people, you step in when you see the country or your area in time of need, and then you step back out. Unfortunately, we have career politicians, which for a long time that was good, but I think it's run its course. And I think you're seeing the repercussions of that now with the federal elections, and particularly here in Missouri, which with the governor's election, which is the most financed gubernatorial race in the nation at the moment. So I think we have to have people in office that are willing to step down when it's time.
Mm-hmm. Kind of changing directions on here, how do you feel that your time at Truman has helped you with either your future plans or your future in politics?
Yeah. I have a fairly long resume. One of the things that I was most proud of is I was a student advisor in residence life for a number of years. And what that taught me was that life is full of complications. It's not black and white, as much as both political sides try to make it. And that really helped me grow in understanding that there are people out there that struggle, that don't necessarily possess the same strength and resilience as others do, that don't have thick skins. My biggest advice, I'd say, as I graduate this December, to anyone that's watching, get involved. Be active, have a brain. And when I say have a brain, read the newspapers. We have a great collegiate readership here on campus that's not utilized enough. I have over 30 news applications on my phone, and I get updates from them every single day all throughout the day. And staying informed is very important, and remembering that school, academia has its place, but I have what I coined it theoality. You have theory, and then you have reality, and you have to blend the two together.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank
We're
you.
so happy to have you.